how normal is grief, or rather the grief process, because I know so many people have been responding and asking questions according to how they are grieving. Is it normal? Is it so? I wanted us to just check, is grief a normal process? I'm very sure that 100% that grief is a normal process. It only becomes abnormal when it becomes intense grief that can lead to challenging issues, like even affecting your mental health, and you might even feel like you're so stressed to a point that you think that you're sinking into depression. That's when it becomes abnormal. But grief is a very normal process where you just have to allow everything that comes with it come and not just take a toll on you. Come and not take a toll on you. The reason I'm saying that it shouldn't take a toll on you is because it's not easy to deal with something that has already suppressed you down. Like, it has become so weighty, it's on your shoulder, and then it becomes so complicated now to help you. And this is why you find in understanding grief, you'll find a therapist telling you that you have complicated grief, because it's now come from the normal grieving, like normal pain from loss of a loved one. When you remember them, you cry. When you remember them, you just miss, we call them the fond memories. You remember there's so many things that you did together. If, for example, used to play around the house, maybe it was your wife or your husband, you just miss those memories. If it was your child, you remember the way you would have sent them to go and pick for you something, maybe from the shop. Maybe you would, at this time of the year or this time of the school semester, your child should have already spoken to you and told you about something they need, or even this child would have updated you, or mwalimu would have called you to tell you, hey, your daughter or your son needs to speak to you. Some of these things, which we are calling grief is normal, because you are a human being, and because you're human, you're created, there is this physical body, there is blood in you, so there is you are normal, so grief becomes normal to you. But the moment it becomes complicated grief is when you find somebody cannot leave their bed, somebody becomes so lazy, like that feeling of laziness, you don't want to do anything. It becomes so complicated. You don't want to go and shower. You don't want to eat at all. You just feel like your stomach is so full and you're not full because you have not been eating. You feel, because I have headache, I cannot go to see the doctor. And one thing that I will tell you, grief is normal. Feeling sickly sometimes is normal with grief, but what I tell people is avoid the OTC. What is OTC? Over the counter drugs. Please don't go and buy drugs over the counter when you are grieving. Like, hey, nimeumwa na kichwa, hey, hiyo ni homa, hey, I feel so hot, hey, I think your blood pressure inapanda. No. Whenever you find yourself in this situation, ensure that you step out, go see a doctor. At this point, you find we have different kind of therapists. You'll find there is a therapist who will talk to you and help you to walk the journey with no prescription. She is right, he is right. It's only that their qualification do not allow them to prescribe any medication for you. Grief has a variety of symptoms, and these symptoms, they appear differently depending on intensity of grief and also depending on individuals. That's why I've said grief is a normal process, but at the same time it could be accompanied with negative changes. It could be accompanied with negative feelings, and it doesn't mean you're abnormal. You're still normal. The only thing you need to do is to seek for help.